right, 5'9" gamers, welcome to Dragon Ball Legends podcast episode 49, Godly Meta Shift. And as always, today we will discuss the new units, we will also discuss the new banner, and we will talk about the state of the meta. The game's a little bit dry, so we might be ranting. And don't forget that after our discussion portion, we will take questions from chat. So keep them locked and loaded. And before we go in, as always, Twitch Prime's not a crime. Make sure to follow us on all our social media. Links are in the chat right now. Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, LinkedIn. No, I'm kidding. But we have TikTok, we have Facebook, we have a subreddit, we have a Discord, all that stuff. And before we actually start, today we have a first timer on the podcast. So BattleAmore, why don't you say a few words about yourself for those who don't know you?
Yes, of course. Hello, everybody. My name is BattleAmore. I'm usually streaming on Twitch. I hope you're all doing fantastic. I usually have a theme about potassium power, as you can see on my banana emote or my face. But hello, everybody.
That's his real face, by the way.
Yes.
Can confirm, saw pictures. But of course, it's not just BattleAmore and me, who is, by the way, also in my European time zones. But today, I am also joined by ZVG. What's up, dude?
Yo, what's up? What's up?
We also have the boy Azdeek in the house.
Yo, what's going on, guys?
I am joined by Swifty.
Yo.
And we have the invisible man xNoctis, which I'm going to put on the stream right now. How you doing, man?
Hey, what up, guys? I'm invisible, by the way.
Yeah, for some
I'm not
reason,
even here. Okay, man.
I think I couldn't count. So, I was like, I need one more, but we actually already had 5 people. So that's on me. And with that said, let's just start and talk about God Topo. And who better to do it than one of our 2 God Key mains, ZVG? What do you think of him?
All right, so I think God Topo is a great addition to God Key. Even though he's green, because you all know like Varos is the core of the team. But I think that a new God Key team is emerging. A blast-based God Key team with Topo, Super Saiyan Evolution Vegeta, Purple VB, Zenkai 7 Super Saiyan with Goku, Clapku, that blast-based God Key team with like a bigger Zenkai bench. I think that team is really, really, really making its way into like one of the better teams in the game. I think Topo is phenomenal. I think the biggest thing about him obviously is the fact that he locks in 4 times, which basically means that if you play your cards right, you can either one, take out the blue unit with the nuke ultimate, which I'll get into later, or you can just, go come in, pick who you want to rise and rush, and then just boom, just pop it, especially against a hybrid team, because you guys know that you want to rush FSK, but you can't because, Rava Gohan is there, and Future Gohan is there too. But with Topo, if FSK is in a position where you have a combo going, just summon the Topo, boom, rush him, and he's gone, just like that. I've done that a couple of times. It's pretty effective if you ask me. And he's very efficient at sniping people too, because if their HP is at a low point and he comes in, they're pretty much going to be dead. So I think also there he proves to be very, very useful. And I think his green card is phenomenal. I just wish he gave key, but he gives a team-wide debuff of 30%. You know how big a 30% team-wide debuff is? And it also reduces hitting by 70%, I think, health restoration to the unit that it hits, which is great against like God Key and Saiyans.
For 25
then his
pounds?
ultimate, yeah, it's a very long time it lasts for. So just landing that, and also it's a long-range green card, so make sure you only use it when you know for a fact that it's gonna land. If not, it's just gonna be a free combo on your Topo.
Yeah,
Is it a long animation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It is a long animation. And then his ultimate is just 120% ultimate damage inflicted, bro. Like, if he destroys 4 cards, his ultimate, his main ability is basically rather Gohan's, but it's for ultimate instead of special damage, is what it is. And yeah, it hits insanely hard. So yeah, I think he's pretty good. I think his best team is obviously God Key, while USS is gonna be an up-and-coming tag which people should start investing into, because it's obvious that they're buffing this tag up with that Vegeta, EX Jiren, this Topo. So the team is gonna eventually get to a point where it's gonna be one of the best teams in the game. And yeah, I just think he's great. I think he's a S tier unit, and yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts for Topo.
Yeah, Topo is honestly incredible. You made some good points about like kind of the pseudo support buffs, which is on his blue card and his green card. So if you land either one of those, I think the enemy team is just going to be taking more damage, which is really nice if you're running a God Key setup without Vados. Vados, you can't deny Vados has like one of the best supports in the entire game. So, any support that you can get is going to be good. And remember, Purple VB kind of has some pseudo support buffs too. So I kind of think that if you're not running Vados and you're running this Topo, that Purple VB probably has really good synergy with him. And I agree, dude. His ultimate is just a nuke, dude. Like last night, I was so surprised. My Bardock was full health, and he literally got one-shotted by that Topo ultimate, and I was just blown away. I mean, he really packs a punch. He's obviously got that lock-in, which is incredibly good. Overall, I think this guy's a phenomenal unit. I know a lot of people have been kind of asking, like, comparing Topo to Vados, which one's better. And at the end of the day, it's really your choice on what type of God Key setup you want to build. Kind of like ZVG said, there's kind of a new God Key setup emerging right now without Vados, which is kind of a more blast-based, damage-based God Key team. Or you can have the setup with Vados where you just have a tanky team, you're healing all the time, you got Vados' support. So I feel like, the Vados setup is just built for defense and healing, and then the Topo setup is built for damage. So it really just depends what type of setup you're trying to build, but yeah, man, overall, I'm super impressed with Topo. I'm actually fine with the fact that he was green. To be honest, I was fine with anything other than like blue or yellow.
Could have been red.
But yeah, I've seen this guy at high stars, like, above red 2. And dude, he just packs a punch, man. And I will say he's definitely tankier than Vados as well.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that his cover change is literally Gogeta 4's, but just better, because he gets 60% every time he comes in, while Gogeta's a one-time thing. So I think him getting that 60% when he comes in is actually like pretty good. So at high stars, he's gonna be one tanky boy.
Yeah,
60% is a lot, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. He's definitely tankier than Vados is, that's for sure. And
he hits harder too.
Oh yeah, he hits way harder, dude. And that lock-in, it really comes in handy if you're facing a, if there's a blue unit on the other team, you can just quickly go to Topo. You don't even have to sidestep. You can just chain all your blast cards together, and man,
Or
that
just-
damage adds up quick.
Just rush FSK.
Yeah, or, swap in Topo, lock the enemy team, and just pop the rush. And
Yeah, I
basically,
remember I saw that
the
the
enemy
first
can't do
time.
anything about it.
I saw that the first time on a very famous streamer's stream, and he was so surprised when that happened. I don't know. I think his name was Swift DBL or something. Go follow him.
Wow.
Follow everybody else too. I mean, before we forget it, right? They're all great creators, except me. I'm trash. No, but
Not
yeah,
true.
I've played. I just wanted to hear that. Yeah, fishing. No, but I've played Topo a little bit too. I don't know. Maybe my team isn't the best, and maybe we can talk about what you think the best team builds are for him. I played him just for fun with the new units, so I played him with Kale and Caulifla, and then I think I used Babyhead Jiren. But I also need to learn how to play that unit right. He did some decent
Did you try
damage,
him on
but
Godkey?
no, not yet.
You should do that.
So you'd say Godkey is his best team?
Yeah, for sure.
I
And I
think-
will say it took me a minute to get used to him because I'm so used to Vados. Like I've been playing with Vados for so long to where when I started playing with Topo, like the first couple games, it just felt weird. But then as, kind of the more I played with them, the more I got used to, what he's able to do. I liked him better and better. I just need more stars on him. Like I said, once he gets into red stars, I think he's going to be a monster.
I think I definitely think his best partner is definitely that Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta. I think both of them go insanely well together.
Yeah,
honestly.
I can see that for sure.
How so?
And I think this is the start of what I've been waiting for, the start of a Vados-less Galki team with Topo and Vegeta. So hopefully the next Galki that comes out is like insanely busted on his own. And then we can just slap those two together and then boom, we got a great team going on.
I mean, you can always play without Vados, but then again, your opponent can always choose to play with her, huh?
Yeah, and I think the one thing with Vados is, so when you look at God Key's yellow units, you got Gogeta Blue, you got God Vegeta, and now you got Evolution Vegeta. So you have a couple options, and if you're running a Vados setup, I think Vados synergizes really well with God Vegeta. I think everybody knows that Vados synergizes really well with Gogeta Blue, just because, Gogeta Blue heals a bunch. And I think if you're running a setup without Vados, I agree with ZVG. Evolution Vegeta is probably the yellow that you want to use with this God of Destruction Topo. But if you don't have Evolution Vegeta, I would say Gogeta Blue is another good option. I feel like that the Zenkai Yellow God Vegeta, his damage kind of relies on Vados' support. That's one thing I've noticed just from playing with him so much is I'm so used to having that Vados' support. When I took Vados off the team, I noticed Yellow God Vegeta just wasn't hitting that hard. So on my Topo setup, I ended up putting Gogeta Blue. And I think Gogeta Blue, I mean, even without Vados, Gogeta Blue still has some really good damage output. So I would say preferably Evolution Vegeta. If you don't have Evolution Vegeta, probably Gogeta Blue is your better yellow option if you're running Topo.
Yeah,
I think someone in the chat said, oh no, Pam, that's right.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say too.
Someone in the chat said MVP 17 got Topo and Blue Topo. The issue with God Topo on Ravi Universe and USS is the fact that his strikes do no damage. Like, let's be real, like his strikes are just like pitiful if we're being real, right? And MVP 17 is a strike unit, Bergamo's a strike unit, and the Vegeta is a blast unit. So I think even on USS, I think HSBE is its best partner, but I can't see the synergy with MVP 17 because, you know, both of them can just lock in and just rush anybody that they want. It's just the lock-in on that, like the utility on that God Topo and 17 team is crazy, but I think that they just don't mesh well because Topo wants blast, 17 wants strike, and then Bergamo also wants strike, and then it's just a whole, and that's the issue with RU and USS with Topo on the team because the disparity on the team is evident when you use the opposite card that they wouldn't like to use, you know?
I will say on that
I'd
team
say
setup, there's a
pretty
lot
hard
of
team.
disruption, a lot of lock-in. I mean, MVP
Yeah,
17
a lot
locks
of-
in, God Topo, even Blue Topo locks in on his ultimate. That probably is a good team, but I agree, you're kind of struggling. You don't know if you want to be a blast or a strike-based team with that setup, but I imagine that setup would probably perform pretty well, though.
I have to
just
say,
Better example with
listening?
God Vegeta and the Green Topo, because Green Topo brings 2 blasts and God Vegeta brings like 2 strikes, and
Yeah, yep.
Vegeta only does strike damage and Topo only does blast damage. That's even
Yeah.
a better example.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was another
That's
thing
right,
I
that-
noticed.
Yeah,
I would
that's why
actually say
SSB is
that.
his best partner.
Bergamo actually does pair really well with him too. I think Bergamo actually does have a little bit more blast damage than he does strike damage, doesn't he?
I have no idea.
Well, all I know is that Bergamo, whether it's the strikes or the blast, I think he just hits pretty hard regardless. Especially because he just gets all that stuff late game, whatever buffs that you're going through, like giving him and stuff like that. I've seen a couple teams with the God Topo. I don't have God Topo myself, but I've seen God Topo on some pretty like strange teams, and him still like performing pretty well. Mostly because of that lock, right? That lock definitely. That's the only reason why I would put him over Kale and Khalifa for me, because I'm a little bit more biased towards them. You know,
Of course you are.
Yeah, I definitely have to be. But if I had to choose between the two, say which one is better, I think I would just go with God Topo just because of that lock.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing that I noticed, and we can probably talk about a couple reasons why this happened, but they actually gave Kale and Khalifa the ability to nullify endurance and not God Topo, which when I think about it, I feel like God of Destruction Topo, I mean, his blue card is the Hakai. I feel like he should have nullified endurance. Possibly it would have been too overpowered if he did nullify endurance. I don't know. But we're in a meta right now where every other game is hybrids and, they have endurance units and there's, I just feel like being able to nullify endurance would have been really, really nice. But for whatever reason, they decided not to give it to him. Possibly because, like I said, maybe it would have been too overpowered since he has the lock-in already and his ultimate already does so much damage. So, I mean, I'm sure they have valid reasons why they didn't give it to him, but in my mind, it just doesn't make sense.
I'm not so sure.
Yeah, that's probably the reason. Because you get sniped so easily. And if you nullify endurance,
I think if he did nullify endurance, I think the team with Topo and Super Simple Evolution would be so devastating against hybrid if we're being real. Because then you can just nullify future Gohan's endurance and they just kill it. If I have a Gohan with Super Simple Evolution, then they're just screwed at that point. So yeah, I can't see the argument. But at the same time, bro, we have FSK, we have Rava Gohan, we have LS Super Saiyan 3. Like, bro, a simple endurance nullification ain't gonna break the game, bro. Like,
Also,
come on, dude.
the
give it to
argument.
us.
I'm sorry. The argument with the snipe. Region says hello. You have Fatbu and DKP who nullifies endurance on anything he does.
Yeah.
You switch into
Yeah.
Fatbu, you lock him in for 5 counts so you can even switch, which Topo can't. And, then you switch into DKP and you're good. Just kill.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Vance. Very good point.
Yeah, that. And you look at the main hybrid team right now. I'm pretty sure every single unit on the core hybrid team nullifies endurance. So I don't know. It would have been
Yeah.
nice if Topo had it, I guess. But
Yeah.
it is what it is. Other than that, man, I actually really love Topo. I'm just excited to get more stars on him, man. I want to
Me
try him
too,
out
bro.
at Red too.
I mean, that's
I'm
the
so
good
excited,
part
I'm
about
so
him being a
excited.
regular unit, right? You just throw Z power.
Thank
at him.
God.
Yeah. And I'm actually cool with that. I mean, I think everybody was kind of expecting God Topo to be an LF unit, but I'm actually completely cool with the fact he was on an all-star banner. I was able to pull a copy, buy the missions, just, get him up to 6 stars real nice and quick. I'm completely cool with that, man. I'm not a big fan of chasing LF units, and I feel like most people probably agree with me on that.
Have we talked
love it.
about his equips?
Not
Or
yet,
not?
no.
Nope.
I definitely think you want either explosive clash or the time of this battle is turning yet again. Either one of those gives a pure blast attack buff. I think that you definitely need one of those, and you also need the HP Universe Survivor Saga equip that gives HP blast attack.
Universe 6 and Universe
strike attack
7.
up.
I think that's what it's called.
that's
Yeah.
definitely needed on him. And the third option could be pretty much be like anything as long as it gives like a blast attack buff. It could be like the Awakened Here I Come or like the Awakened, the Clapco equip that just got awakened. That equip is also pretty
You're
good. on
pissing
him
me
too,
off.
because
Is
it
it
gives
that one?
strike attack and blast attack. Yeah. I think that's pretty
Yeah.
good on him too. So yeah, you have a lot of options when it comes to like equips for Topo. And also the Kamehameha one, the one with like Super Saiyan 3 on it, I think. Or something like that, that gives blast attack, special move damage, and whatever else. I think that's also a pretty good equip choice for him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
he's
talking
got some
about
pretty good
Hurry Up and Die.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
also
a good
pretty
one.
So, yeah.
I agree with you on the one you mentioned, and then I've been using the tide of this battle is turning yet again for that pure blast attack, and you got some special move damage on there.
Yeah.
And then I do have, so you pointed out 2 that I'm using, the tide of the battle's turning, and then the HP Universe 6 and Universe 7. And then I also threw that Jiren equip where I think it's called Try All You Want.
Oh,
You
the
cannot
special move
defeat me.
damage one.
Yeah, it's
the
got
ultimate
special
damage
move
one,
and
yeah.
ultimate damage. And when you consider how hard this man's ultimate hits already, you add
pretty good,
this goes
yeah.
up to 10% special move and
Yeah.
ultimate damage. So, I mean, you add 10% to whatever crazy damage it's already doing. I mean, I feel like that's a pretty good equip to have on him as well. But you definitely
Yeah.
want those pure blast attack equips. I know.
You definitely need that. Definitely.
Yeah, dude. And I know the tide of the battle is turning yet again. I think that is a Z metal equip. So for
Yeah.
like newer players, it might be harder to grind that one. But if you're
If
going to
you
be
want-
running Topo, you should definitely strive for those pure blast attack equips.
If you want an equip metal one, Explosive Clash is pretty good because it gives
Yeah.
up to 12% base
Yeah.
blast. 'Cause I have a max red slot on it, so that's a huge. You have a
Damn.
max red slot on it, so yeah. I've been trying to get another Z, but it's taking so many. Dude, I used 90 races yesterday on it, and I still haven't gotten a Z. But I need an 11.25% blast attack roll, and it's only giving me strike attack rolls. It's just so annoying, man. It's
I know
so
that
annoying.
feeling.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah,
problem.
that's
Is I
so
actually have a couple good rolls of that equipment, but I think it's all strike attack. I don't think I have a blast attack one, so I'll have to grind that as well.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Man, I'm gonna invest my erasers right now in TOP equips. Chasing that top 10 season.
Dude, I sold my Iron Eclipse by accident.
oh,
Because I have the auto select. I have the auto select set for selling Ionicus for some reason, and it sold all my HP TOP equips.
Oh wow.
Bro, that's why I don't trust for people that watch me like delete equips. I do everything manually still. I don't do any of the auto deletes.
You just like pain. You just like pain, bro. You just like
he's not
pain.
wrong. He's not wrong. Yeah, no, I'm still chasing that top 10 finish. Right now, I'm like, I don't know, probably around 20 or something. Not anymore because there's one more TP right now. But anyways, so Topo wasn't the only unit. The other unit that we got were Kale and Caulifla. And definitely saw you try them out on stream, BattleAmore. What is your verdict on those units? What do you like about them? Are they lacking? Best teams, best equips? Go.
Well, first of all, I love the animation of them. Like,
Yeah.
it's top notch. Like,
Ultra level.
when Kale joins in with the strike arts, beautiful. And I do like their setup. It's just that I have a bit problem with how they tanking anything. Even though all their abilities increasing the defense, but yeah. Else, I do like the permanent card draw speed. I do like that they get buffed each with the blast damage. The only thing I have a problem is her stats is almost as equal with the other All-Star banner called the one with Majub in it. Like literally they have the same HP. The only differences between them is the strike and defenses. Between the damage and defenses, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they jumped down with the damage for Majub, but increased their defenses. Here, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
Khalifa and Kale can they stack up damage so much, but it takes 20 time accounts for her to get the permanent additional 20%.
Yeah.
And her main ability to increase another 20%. Like, it's all time gated to increase her power.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Though I do like her main. Like you need it's not like you need it, but you want to make sure it's immediately used. Because you want that key recovery of 60%. You also want to heal her and increase key by 40. So you can do all the setups so you know that she can combo every time. Once you get her rolling, she does the damage she needed. Also, her green card is so similar to Kid Boo's, the LF Kid Boo, that restore vanishes by using the green card. Though it only activates 3 times, it's still so incredibly good.
Dude, yeah, that is good. And it's 60% too, which is, I mean, normally when you vanish and then kind of finish out a combo, you're normally about like 50% vanish anyway. So you pop that green card and you just get basically a free vanish back. I like that a lot.
I think I fought like 3 Khalifa and kills, and the first time I fought them, but my 2-star Topo one-shot them with his ultimate, and they were at 6 stars. So from I saw that, I was like, okay, the defense has to be lacking in some way. And I think someone brought up a very good point, either my stream or Swift stream the other day, and it's the fact that base stats do way more than the reduced damage received. Because if you take a look at Kale and Khalifa, they have 40% reduced damage, and they get 20% after they dodge an attack, right?
Yeah.
And they still feel like they can attack. But a unit like Fat Boo, who barely has any cut whatsoever, is tanky as hell because why his base stats are so high. So I think even she has very low defense. I think it's 136,000 at 7 stars or 6 stars, I think, because I did do her analysis this morning. And yeah, her defenses are not that great. I mean, her damage is pretty fine from what I've seen and from what I've heard from other people. Even though her strike attack and blast attack stats are looking kind of low to me, I think. But the green card is great. Yeah, the green card is great. You know, similar to Kid Boo, as BattleAmore said. And yeah, they take a while to ramp up, but I think 20 timer counts is nothing too crazy to like go over. I mean, it's 20 timer counts, and he's not gonna die in that time. Hopefully not. But yeah, I think they're pretty good. But I do think that I would say that Topo is better than both of them. But yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah, if you compare both of them, Topo is better. But if you want, once a certain timer counts has hit, her damage amplifies by a lot. She needs to amp up before she gets the power she needs. Like her blast damage, she gets 10% damage inflicted of blast damage up to 30% each time she lands a blast dart. Also, she reduces, what am I saying? Increases a strike arch cost by 50.
Jesus.
Three time account.
And that's really good.
That's really annoying.
And
Has
her
anyone
lock-in,
ever, like-
doesn't she have that? Doesn't she have that lock-in where like after
she-
the combo's over or something?
You have to, and
Yeah,
enemies
it's like a
attack is
10
over.
account.
She has a
Yeah.
lock-in after enemy attack is over for 3 timer counts. So each time someone like accidentally tap her, you are locked in with her.
I actually noticed that to be pretty annoying. Like, and that's a good thing.
think-
That's a good thing.
Yeah, she has the mechanic, but you need to understand that she will not be able to take damage in the beginning. She will ramp up everything late game.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta say, when I look at her 14-star stats, they're not. I mean, I don't know, man. She's got under 250 strike and blast attack. She's got right under 160 strike and blast defense. And I'm looking at it's supposed to be, maximum stats, 14 stars. In my mind, at 14 stars, that's not like anything too crazy. I mean, am I wrong?
Yeah,
It's not crazy.
You're right. They definitely held back on her stats a lot because I looked at Topo, and I looked at her and I was like, huh? Why is her attacks is like so low and defense is like so low as well? So they definitely held back.
The stats are terrible, yeah.
Her stats is not really that great, but all her abilities, like she gets 80% of damage inflicted, cannot be stacked when she enters the field. After once 20 timer counts has gone through, she gets an additional 20, and once she activates the main, she gets another 20 permanent. So I think they held back because of that, because she increased so much, and thanks with the increase of blast damage up to 30%. It's 150 plus.
That's a bit.
Yeah. And that was one thing I saw too on the main ability is kind of like you said, you want to try to pop this early game. I mean, there might be situations you save it for later game, but if you do pop that main ability early game, you get that permanent 20% damage buff, permanent 60% key recovery. None of that can be canceled. And then you add that on top of the 80% damage buff and reduce damage received by 40% every time she comes into battle. Her kit is really good. I can't deny that. She's got a very good kit.
Yeah, it's just too bad that she doesn't have that right away.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it really held her back because of it. Okay, if she had all of that already in the beginning, she would be obviously equal to Topo, I think.
Yeah,
I think you're over exaggerating the fact that it's just 20 timer cards. It's not like you gotta wait like 30 or 40. It's just 20 timer cards.
PvP has gone very fast nowadays. Like if you face an FSK Gohan, you get one shot or twice blast dart. If that is a comparison, or if you're locked in with Bojack, like you cannot do anything really.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. But yeah, I think they held back on her stats and then they just let her ramp up like mid to late game. And it's funny how BattleAmore is like calculating all the damage and everything, and then Topo comes in and just has 140% as soon as he pops a card. It's like, because I was just laughing. I was like, okay, so Topo just gotta come in, pop one card, boom, and he gets the card on entry, which is why it works so
which is
well.
amazing. Yeah, I love that.
The also downside by this unit is she has no unit that can Zenkai buff her. Unlike Topo.
Wait.
I mean,
that's true.
And 18.
Yeah.
18
Yeah,
buffs
she
her
got
buff
androids.
androids.
Yeah,
Oh,
yellow
she was
and
okay.
And that is why she is
around,
not equally as top as Topo. Because Topo can get double Zenkai buffed if he wants to. But they usually only do one if you do God Key.
Yeah.
Yeah, double one is weird.
Yeah, that is why you cannot really use her. Because if you had a Zenkai buff, at least you could tank the units at least.
I will say one thing that's cool about Kale is she's got that anti-armor on her blast card where she does like 150% extra blast damage to units with blast armor, which I think that's something I want to see more of. And I know like lately, we're not seeing a bunch of blast armor units. Like every once in a while you run into them, but that's still a nice buff to have. And then she also has blast armor on her blue card and her ultimate, which is cool. So
yeah, it's very okay.
I think very okay.
I have a one side problem too. Why wasn't Kale the one who was the main unit?
And then
It's literally it's literally a new model and everything.
On that
don't
note,
have
I
the
can get
model
behind
yet,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, I can get behind that, dude. For sure.
that's
Kale
fair.
should have been the main focus there.
Yeah.
well,
But I do like her C ability. Like it's buffing rival universe first, girls. But I was very surprised when they picked
I think we were
Saiyan
all
as the
surprised.
third one.
Yeah, me too.
We're all surprised.
It shouldn't have
that
been
has to be the
Saiyans.
weirdest. That
shouldn't
has to
really
be the
have been Saiyan.
weirdest Z ability I've ever seen in this game. And I've played this game for like 2 years. That just threw me off completely.
Yeah, it's
Like
blast
they don't
attack
buff
and-
USS, but they buff Saiyan. And it's funny too because these guys are never gonna be ran on Saiyan. Like let's be completely real here. Age of Vegeta spot ain't getting taken no way, no how by Kale and Khalifa. It's just not gonna happen. So her buffing Saiyans is just so weird.
I'm
to
gonna
me
do
when-
it.
I think they should have buffed USS.
I'm gonna do it and call a video. Watch the VG. I'm getting clapped.
Yeah, she's not that good on Saiyans. Like I'm not even gonna lie. Like I don't know why she got the Saiyans buff. That's exactly what like completely like just I don't know. It just shocked me because I was just like, dude, like I thought it was all about USS. Like USS is going to be the main focus. Like Topo buffs USS, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, he does.
Yes.
He does buff
Yeah.
them.
And then we got the SSBE who buffs USS. So I was just like, this should have been going into the pattern of just continuously buffing USS, and this would have been a good Z ability for them. I know we already have TOP 17, but still, like, it would have been a nice Z ability regardless.
Yeah, it would have been.
But
her,
speaking of...
her equipment, she wants the awakened romantic drive
Yes.
that gives her all the defense that she needs. Also gives a blast damage. That's what it wants.
Yeah, I agree.
That's such a good equip for basically any female warrior. You can run that equip.
Yeah.
I love that equipment.
Also, if you want to
Shit acting like he
pure
runs females.
damage, explosive clash. Like I said, explosive clash is so good, but it's so hard to get a good blast on the last slot.
Yes,
because you
yes,
usually
I
only
can
get
attest to
strike.
that.
I farmed that
attest to
equipment.
that.
I have 7 of those. 6 of those are strike based. I got literally only yellows on strike based. I was like, really? Okay.
It took
Then,
me
if
10
you want-
erasers to get.
I
to
wasted
get a Z.
150 erasers.
Oh God.
I used 90 last night on another one. Because the first one, it took me 10 erasers to get like a Z, full Z, red dot, everything. And then the other one is 90 and it's still nowhere close. But like, it's
Yeah.
dumb, man. It's dumb.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, but between those two equipment, those two are guaranteed on Cauliflower Kale.
And which third one would you bring?
The third one, you want the HP equip. Either you take This Should Be Fun that does more damage to hybrid, but also gives you HP and blast damage. Or you can have Android 18's equip that it says Android 18. It gives you strike, but that is not the most important part. It gives you health and more damage to red units, which is
And that's
kind of what you need more.
15% HP.
Yeah.
15.
Yeah.
15%.
I like how it gives you like 15% damage to red after 30 timer counts. So useful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since
weird, man.
Cauliflower Kales is so time gated, this equipment should help a lot.
Yeah, and I've always been a fan of the This Should Be Fun equip with the HP buff. I think that's a phenomenal equip for a lot of Saiyan units, especially nowadays. There's so many hybrids running around.
Yeah.
I think that I've been using this equipment for a while, and in my experience, this is actually a pretty easy equipment to grind. I think you can get it in the equipment metal shop. I don't think it takes that many slot removers. This is a pretty good one to grind right here.
Yeah, it is pretty good to go.
Last slot is terrible.
Yeah.
But situational.
Hey, I like it, man. Whenever I run into hybrids, I like it.
But so
I mean, it's terrible
Even-
to reroll.
Oh, terrible to reroll. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
okay, so like let me ask you one thing because I'm not sure myself. So on that Android 18 equip, it says X amount of damage to red after 30 timer counts. That means after 30 counts of the match started, right? Because sometimes it says
Yes.
after
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
5
It is
count.
after 30 counts there's a match started.
More time gated stuff. Let's go.
Yeah, but you kind of have to if that unit is time gated.
You have to play with the same top, play with the theme and time gated as well. Sounds fair.
Yep.
Because even if though it's in the beginning, if it would have been in the beginning, it would not really help a lot. Because you don't have all that damage yet.
Fair enough.
Am I wrong?
Honestly though, if you already have the unit time gated, I would see if I can get something better.
Yeah, I prefer the Android 17 equip over that one for this case and scenario, just because we are in that hybrid kind of meta and stuff like that, and you get that damage to hybrids just right off the bat.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the meta a little bit later. Because I would slightly disagree there, but I'm gonna keep that one. And yeah, so now that we talked about the units, let's talk a bit about the banner. Because the question is, and I already saw somebody in chat saying this banner has higher quality than the GT All-Stars. And ZVG just said, no.
Yes.
And
Wait, what?
never mind.
The other way around,
Noctis, you're gonna tell us about this banner. What do you think? Is it worth it? Is it not that great, or what's going on?
So looking at the banner, it's like a pretty generic all-star banner. We have 2 new units with a 1% rate. and decent 0.5 rate units. And then there's another half that we don't see on the featured page. You have to look deeper into it. And we see basically trash like Purple Caulifla, Green Kaba, like old ass units. But other than that, Topo and Caulifla, like we talked earlier, especially Topo, he's really damn good. If you run a God Key. But I rather spend on step ups if I'm honest, so that's my personal opinion. But you can get lucky and pull the unit and just buy the missions in here. What I would advise though is wait with multis until you did all your dailies, unless the missions are about to expire. And then you should think, do you really need the unit? If yes, do it on the last day when you already did your daily and try a few multis so you are able to buy the missions. I wouldn't do multis day one. Never ever on All Stars. If you do that, waste like 10k, get the unit, next day you pull them in the daily. Nice. You wasted like 10k. That's
so
why I would
true.
always wait. But yeah, the units are pretty fun. They look pretty fun. And they can be really damn good. So it really depends if you do need them. If you want them, they're not really like a must-have unless you really want to run that God Key focused blast team. Then I would say you really want that Topo because he's damn good with the lock-in. But other than that, you're also pretty good if you don't summon. So don't feel forced that you need one or the other because you can get pretty shafted.
Yeah.
And
Don't
like,
get clickbaited by us
Lavender.
YouTubers into, oh my god, insane damage. Quintuple Zenkai buff,
exactly.
Zenkai buff Topo is crazy.
You could do a multi and get only Lavender or like Purple Khalifa, which we got for free a few weeks ago.
You don't want lavender?
So yeah. No.
Purple Khalifa is garbage though. Like
I want Basil. Ow!
That's
Yeah.
one
Yeah,
thing
but
with
Hazel I
All-Star
could
banners.
understand, man.
That's one thing I've noticed with All-Star banners is like it's guaranteed sparking, but at the same time, it's hard to like pinpoint a unit. Like if you're specifically going for like Topo or Kale and Caulifla, you could easily go through like 9-10k, you get your guaranteed sparking every multi, and still not pull them. That's just something I've noticed. It's really hard to pinpoint a specific unit on these banners. Obviously, you got the missions, so there's extreme value in those missions alone. One thing I'd like to see on this banner is they brought back the Hera clan. I see Gokua, Zangia, Beto, Bujin. I think that's really cool. This might be kind of a sign of a pattern to come where, maybe on every single banner from now on, they're going to be having these EX units, and I'm definitely a fan of that. Seems like they've been bringing them back multiple times already. I also noticed they brought back that EX Namek Goku, which is cool. Not
Still
that I don't think
still
he's
didn't
like
get him.
amazing or anything, but it's cool that they brought him back.
honestly, I think I will die on this hill. But All Stars are better than Step Ups, 110 million%.
For the with the
Firstly.
missions, because you got those missions.
Nah,
man.
even without the missions, bro. Look at this banner, bro. This banner literally has like 3 teams in it. You have Rav Universe, USS, and Galki. They have Kleaku, TOP17, TOP18, Red Kefla, Topo, Kale Khalifa. We have the Pride Troopers. We got Hit. We got Bergamo. We got Valos. We got Champa. We got the EXs. We got Goku on. Dude, like, there's no way you can tell me that an All-Star banner is not better than Step Ups, bro. And it's also guaranteed sparking with the missions on top of it. Honestly, this is more of a
Yeah.
step up than the Step Ups themselves because you're getting a guaranteed sparking at the very least, and you're also getting missions to instantly get into 6-star with 2KCC. Like, this banner is phenomenal. I implore, like, if you main Garki and you need more star, or like if you main USS, if you want to main USS in the future, I think this banner is a very good banner to summon out because USS is going to be a tag that's going to be getting a lot of love in the near future. I can already see it happening. So when you come up to this banner, I think the banner is very great. All the units in the banner are usable except Dispo and Lavender too. Can't forget Lavender. But yeah, I think this banner is great. I think this banner has more quality than the GT banner for sure because this banner has team on top of team on top of teams in it and it's guaranteed sparking every single time. So this banner is one of the better All-Stars I've seen that's come out in the past few months. to me
Yeah.
personally.
Hey,
I think-
Clapku's on the banner, so
Yeah, Clapper was on the
like,
last one
banner's
too.
just so good.
Glad
But,
the Banner's in
just
the banner.
so
Android
good.
17 and 18 came back.
Yeah, I think it's debatable though for sure because although a big part of me wants to just immediately agree with you, ZVG, because these All-Star banners have just been treating me so damn good. This one and the past one, the GT one, it had Angel Vegeta on there, it had Clapco on there, Demon King Piccolo, all that good stuff. But it really depends like what step ups you're comparing them to, because I feel like the step ups are so like there's so many like different ones. Like if it's a celebration step up, I definitely do feel like those are better. Definitely, but if it's like just like a standard step up like during the month, like this SSBE one, like yeah, 100%. I would rather
Alright, hold
much
on.
summon on a All-Star banner.
So are you telling me that the 30th anniversary step up banners are better than this All-Star
The
banner?
Gohan one, yes, the Gohan step up.
yeah, I can see
Yeah.
that for the Gohan one for sure.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. Because if you're about to tell me Gogeta was the Mouse's banner, I would have just kicked you out the VC with my mind control or whatever. Because honestly, I'm telling you, All Stars, but generally, I think All Stars are definitely better than step ups in the general sense. Because when you go in, you know for a fact that you gain something at the end, which I don't know why isn't in step ups yet when the rates are like 0.16 for like all the sparkings in there. Like, dude, like just drop the guarantee sparking at the end. Like, it's nothing crazy.
I wouldn't say you get something at the end in All-Star banners. You could get Lavender or like Bergamo or like Basil or like Super Saiyan 2 Caulifla, the purple one, Kaba, which we get for free. You don't run away with like something guaranteed that's good. And in the All-Star banner, we have the Pity right now. And on nearly every team you have, there's an LF unit that's necessary. So I wouldn't say that you should only summon on All-Star.
I'm gonna say only, but I think All-Star generally have more value because even though you can get Lavender, Basil, Kaba, all those guys on All-Star, you can still get those guys on these step-up banners themselves because a lot of Sparkins, a lot of useless Sparkins are in the step-ups and also in the ticket that you can get on these step-ups. And it's generally hard to put an LF anyway and to chase them to get into 2 stars. Then you gotta save the Z-Power to get them to 6 stars where they're actually like usable. So that's why I feel like All-Stars are the better value banner. Personally,
I feel like it also depends a little bit on, are you casual? Are you a whale? Because let's face it, if you're a whale, but you don't 14-star everything, then I think LF banners are more worth it because it's much easier to 14-star the All-Star units. Plus, I think every All-Star unit right now had the doggos. Every All-Star banner until now had the dogs. It had the Pride Troopers. You know, it's like, okay, they're everywhere, so almost everybody's going to have them 14 stars by now, so they're not worth as much anymore. So I guess you also have to take that into account when you're talking about the value of the banners. Like for me, it's still step-ups, also because of that EX guaranteed step. And I want to complete my collection, and I did not pull that Namekoku on the Frieza banner. I did not pull the Namekoku on this banner, which obviously has astronomically low chances, but, you know, depends. I think for me, it's still going to be step-ups, but not step-ups that have only one unit.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
depends on
you're
what type
away,
of
so
player
it
you
makes
are.
sense.
It depends like what teams you use. Like, you know, there might be one banner that is a complete skip for one person, but the next guy needs all those units. So a lot of factors there, a lot of variables.
Yeah.
Some of us are just the worst. Dude, it took me. So I've only summoned on God Key and Future step-up units, and it has just been atrocious. 10k no Rose, 15k no Zamasu. So it took me 18k to get Vegeta. One copy. That's what like 15 plus 10, that's 25 plus 18, that's
53. No, 43.
really?
Quick math.
43.
43. And I've only pulled Vegeta.
You know what's funny?
God Key LF I've pulled.
You know what's funny
Out
is
of that
ZVG,
43.
it took me more than that to actually pull one Revival Gohan.
Dang.
Damn.
Dude, I just think that chasing LFs are just not worth
Oh,
it,
yeah.
honestly. But well, you need it, like you need it for certain teams, but need is 6 stars. So even if you pull them once, you're still gonna need
Yeah.
what, like 3
I
more
mean,
copies?
the only good thing
Like-
about it is now we have Pity, right? Which means if you pull him after, let's say, 25k, you get one LF multi-Z power with that to go. So it's already 3 stars. It's not great, it's better. And then, yeah, you have to be smart about, summoning on these limit break banners. You have another 600 multi-Z power. And then obviously you're not going to be able to Z power all of your LFs up to 6 stars if you have 20 teams. But if you focus on 1 or 2, that can work. So
I think Azdeek can resonate with me with this. I think people saying, "Oh, you gotta be smart with your CC. You gotta save for certain teams." I think that talk is dead now, because it doesn't matter if you save for a team or not. The fact remains that you have to get lucky. It's just that simple.
course.
Like
Yep.
if you look at my account, you think that I summoned on every single banner when I haven't. I've only summoned on units that I would need for my teams, and I still don't have them. So saying, "Oh my god, you gotta save for this one team. If you save, you'll have it." No, it's not how it works, bro. Like, you have to get lucky.
But CVG, you gotta
pull
save.
and pull them multiple times.
That's with everything, though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
What?
people are like, "Oh my god, let us give so much CC a month. Oh my gosh, it's so free to defend." It's not. It's losing that value.
You
It is.
still have a
If
higher
you're free to
chance if
play,
you focus on one team, though.
Wait, hold
yeah,
on.
but
doesn't
at the
deny
same
it.
time,
Yeah, if you focus on
you
one
still
thing,
have to
this
get lucky at the
banner
end of the day.
Yeah, I agree, but I gotta know who's telling you, ZVG, that you're summoning on everything, bro, because you don't have like any
Bro,
units in league and stuff.
when I go on Twitter and I see people saying, "Oh my god, let us give so much CC. Oh my gosh, you gotta focus on one team." It's like, bro, it doesn't matter. Like, they're releasing so many banners, the CC hasn't increased. You still gotta get lucky to pull the LF.
Yeah.
It's like it's losing that free to playness that it had in year 1 and 2. It's just losing it.
ZV,
And
I
as a
don't
free to
have
play, I can
MG.
see the struggle, because now I'm okay. So now in September, right?
Yep.
Rose is probably gonna come back. The multi-Z power banner is probably gonna come back too. And
Hopefully.
we're probably gonna get an LF as well. So me, I'm broke. I'm literally broke on CC right now. Like, if the multi-Z power comes out next week, I can't get it. I literally can't get it, bro, because I'm summoning for the team that I saved for, and I still can't pull the unit. So it's like, it's very difficult to be free to play. It's only gonna get worse, because they're definitely not gonna increase the CC a whole bunch, because it's obvious. We've been what? This is what, 8 months now, 9 months, and the CC per month hasn't increased substantially like how they increased the rate of the banners. It's mind blowing to me, like how they can just sit in the office and just think that this is good when it's just not.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically turned into monthly LF units. The one point I want to make is, like, you know, we've been seeing that LF Z-Power banner come back pretty frequently. So I feel like, I mean, it is smart to try to have like 2 to 3K saved up for that LF Z-Power banner. But, you know, once again, like ZVG said, if you're chasing specific units for your teams, sometimes it can be hard to have that CC ready to go. But yeah, hopefully they continue to drop the LFZ power banner, kind of like we already talked about. It's already so hard to get an LF unit, and then once you get one copy, you got to get more copies, because you got to have them like 6 stars at least most of the time, depending on your rank, I guess. So yeah, that's my problem with chasing LF units, because it's like, man, I really want this one copy, and then once I get one copy, I'm sucked into summoning more to get more copies. So hopefully, you know, nowadays and in the future, the answer to this type stuff is going to be, you know, hopefully they just keep bringing back the LFZ power banner. We can put 3K in, get a free LFZ power, and just, you know, slowly start starring up our LF units with the Z power banner. Or if you summon a lot, you know, you can do the same thing with the pity system.
Yeah. My answer to that is I just run 2 and 3 star units. That's it. That's my solution right there.
Like, my biggest concern is with LFs. Like, look at Purple Rosé. He only come back in a return banner with older LF units, and he never was on a new LF banner ever since his release. Like, what?
Yeah.
They know people are thirsting for
Blows
him
my
and want
mind.
to bait ZVG.
No, it's because ZVG roasted him so hard on release, bro. They never wanted to come back.
That's my biggest issue with LFs, to be honest. They never come back. It's like you don't get them on their release banner. Oh, guess what? Wait like at least half a year and then have to summon on an banner with only old units.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So weird.
But yes, Beerus at every banner, LF3s at every banner, like, bro, like,
Noctis, I mean, ex-Beerus. Noctis still has PTSD from that last SSBE banner, dude. That was some
But I
fun
think-
watching him summon Beerus.
Hell yeah, 7 Beeruses?
Dude,
Let's
at
go.
one point
That's
it
crazy.
was that bad that he did not want to see the Legends Limited animation, because it's like, no, it's gonna be another Beerus.
Not again.
And-
Not again. Not the black screen, man. Don't even.
And spoiler alert, it was
Bro, I
another
think-
Beerus.
Yeah.
But I think them releasing the LF banners every month is a good thing, short term. But when you look at the long term of the game, for like, you know for a fact that a 7-up Ultra is definitely coming either New Year's or like close after that. So the reason why they're releasing all these LFZ power and giving us all this LFZ power is to normalize LFs to the point where like they're gonna become like the new 1% Sparkins. And then the Ultras are gonna be the new shiny toy. So when you look at it from that perspective, it's hard to get hype for the LFZ power every month when you know that they're only doing this just to make us suffer later, you know?
Yep.
But it's still good regardless. I mean, I'm not gonna complain. It's still good, but it's obvious that they're not doing it out of the kindness of their hearts. They're doing it to just make LFs normalized so that they can just make Ultra be like, oh my gosh, Ultra coming out, yay! You know?
I mean, with the Surpass Me event, we already know there's a step up around the corner. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
nope. Yeah, nice.
LFL, please. LFL. I would love to see LFL in the game, please. LFL.
I could see
in the game,
Angel going
purple.
Fraser.
LF? Master Rush?
Hell no.
That's what I want.
That's
I
not
can see
gonna
that,
happen.
dude.
Come on,
I thought you
that's
just
not gonna
wanted Super Warriors BattleAmore.
Dude, he counts as a super warrior. What do you mean?
happen. Does he does?
The Tournament of Power, at least.
Well,
I have dreams.
Probably not.
No.
No, probably not. Better the pipe gym is dead, bro. The pipe gym is dead.
Oh man! All right, before we go down way too deep in the rabbit hole, I'd say we have one more thing that Swift definitely wanted to talk about, and that also pertains to the title of the podcast, and that is the state of the current meta. So Swift, rant, or I don't know, rejoice away.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
It's just gonna rant? It has to be a rant. There's
Let's
no rejoicing.
go.
So basically, when I look, so basically the whole topic of this state of the meta, I kind of want to briefly talk about like what teams, we're all using. I want to hear what you guys want to say in chat, like what teams you guys are using right now. I have a little bit to touch on though. I mean, there's no doubt that Hybrids is still the best team. Like no matter what, at the end of the day, Hybrids is number one. You can't deny that. But I have been noticing definitely more God Key, a lot of God Key recently. And I think part of that is due to the fact Clapku has been coming back on a lot of these banners. So, originally Clapku was kind of a rare unit to where not a lot of people had him. He only was on his original All-Star banner, but nowadays people actually have opportunities to get him. So I think that's one of the reasons we're seeing more God Key. Also, we got obviously this new Topo, which is going to encourage people to run God Key. So I'd say overall, I am seeing a lot more God Key in the meta. Still a lot of hybrids. I'm actually seeing a lot of GT as well. I think GT is a phenomenal team, especially, if you have the stacked setup with, all the Zenkais, purple Goku, red Vegeta. They got Endurance with Oob right now, which is really good. Obviously, just having Endurance on the team is going to, make the team perform better. So yeah, seeing a lot of GT, still seeing a lot of Saiyans. Saiyans is probably still up there in the top 3 somewhere. But yeah, I think, Hybrid's still number 1. I would say God Key has kind of moved up a little bit, probably into the top 5, if I had to guess, somewhere right there.
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, what teams are you guys using? I'm mainly using, obviously, I use God Key a lot. I'm still using my Super Saiyan team. But yeah, mainly my main team's God Key. What have you guys been using?
God Key.
Movies.
God Key.
I'm using
using
Rebel
Universe.
GT. I've
Oh,
been
that's
using
cool.
GT.
What's that, Battle?
I've been using GT.
Oh,
Hell
interesting.
yeah.
You like Majub, huh?
Yes.
From what I see
I
on
was
your
about to
stream.
say when you said ooh, it's Modu.
Ooh.
Dude, Majub
think-
is good, man. Like, not only does he have endurance, but he's got that AoE green. I've noticed he actually has really long combos as well. I mean, obviously the Kid Goku has long combos because he's got the 2x card draw speed, but that Oob has really long combos too. I think he draws a card when he pops his green.
Also, his main ability.
Yeah,
his main ability.
Oh
His
yeah.
main ability gives him 2 times card draw speed.
Yep.
Oh, it does?
Yes.
Yeah, it
How
is.
did I not know that?
Yep.
Wow. Okay, that actually explains a lot then.
Yep. Yeah. Me screaming at the screen asking why Majub has more cards still. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what it
reasons.
so
explains for
many
me.
so
Yeah.
many is trying to do that.
Yeah, for
And then
me.
the combination of Majub and the Kid Goku, it's just like never-ending combos.
Yeah. dude.
Yeah.
Never in negative damage. Don't
Negative
forget that
damage
part.
and negative key.
Don't forget negative damage part.
Oh, yeah, true.
But I like Mojib so much. I 14 starred him when I
Did you
could.
really?
Yes.
Holy cow.
Well, this man BattleAmore has a job, so
Yes.
He's a mission, man.
the man, the legend.
I think what Swift said about the meta is right. I think Garki is the most common team that I fight, and I'm so happy because they're so easy to beat. thank God for that. But I think what you said about Godkey being top 5 team is right. But I think the disparity between Godkey and the other 4 teams is so evident that it's crazy how the top 4 teams are just run the meta at this point. Saiyans, Regen, movies, and hybrids. And I think the Goat made a very good about this, which he read about Gohan and Super Saiyan 3 are like ruining the meta. And I agree to an extent because the teams just feel so cheap and the teams require no effort whatsoever. Like you can just come in with a unit, boom, do some damage, get out and tank everything, dodge as and rushes, endurance, revival, all that nonsense. It sucks the fun out of it, especially if you get your rush guest against any of those teams.
Yeah.
You're pretty much you pretty much have to become ultra instant Goku to win the match.
You could give that team to a monkey and they could still win.
Yeah, the teams are just so brained and it just sucks going up against them because when you lose, you don't feel like you lost because the person was good. You feel like you lost because your team was just so broken that they were gonna win from the team select screen. It literally feels that way. When I was gonna fight Emoji the other day, I literally only brought 1 unit and just forfeited immediately. There was no point in playing that match.
He played hybrids,
if I was
right?
to win that match, I'd have to outplay Emoji so much that he would not even need to touch me. Because if he touches somebody, they're dead. It happened when he played, a month ago, and he has even more stars now. So just think about how hard I have to play just to beat Emoji's team. And it's nothing against Emoji, It's against the developers making the team so brained and so broken that it's just you have to play so hard just to win. And then if the rush gets guessed or if they get their rush before you, it just goes completely out of control and then.
And I mean that's kind of the thing that also Noctis said earlier a while back is just like with hybrids they can rush you but you cannot rush them, and that makes it so imbalanced. So that to counter hybrids you need to bring hybrids almost, and that's why I've been playing a lot of movies lately just because Gokua. He is my savior. Yeah. Gokua is so much fun. You just seeing the health bars just being diminished by so much with like a single blue card or a strike, and them frantically switching around in order to not have a unit die. But other than that, I'm honestly just playing whatever I enjoy. You saw me in the pre-show playing that triple yellow God Key team, with Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, God Vegeta, and Gogeta Blue. And I sometimes play that in ranked just because it's fun. Or I play yellow, blue regen with DKP, LF Piccolo, and Kami Piccolo. Just, I don't know, I enjoy that team. And if it's fun, I play it. But then on the last day, I'm not having much fun because I still need to catch up.
And that's also a big issue, like ZVG said, when you like queue in and see the opponent screen and you go in with like a fun team like green, yellow, or yellow, green, or whatever, and you see hybrids like, yup, nothing I can do. GG.
Fun teams are just dead, man.
It's like you can't deny the meta right now. It's heavily like a revival / endurance meta, especially with hybrids. And I guess the beauty of movies is, Gokua counters hybrids, and then you can also still bring revival Gohan since he has movies. So you can kind of fight fire with fire. They have revival endurance. Maybe on movies you have revival that helps, make it to where they can't rush right away. Same thing with God Key and Clapku. I feel like, ZVG did bring up a great point about when you're fighting like a really stacked hybrids team, you gotta really outplay your opponent to get the win because they have so many advantages that you don't have. Now, as I just said, you got to fight fire with fire. They have revival and endurance. On God Key, you got to have Clapku. If you don't have Clapku, as soon as they get their rush, they can just pop the rush and you really can't do anything about it. But if you keep a revival on your team, at least you have something to kind of, you have that extra defensive cushion where you don't have to worry about a rush.
Which in my
ZVG
opinion
really did bring up a great point about how, hybrids is like, they just have so many advantages and you have to play damn near perfectly against them. I mean, you guys know I main God Key, that's my main team. And last night, I literally on stream, I played with hybrids for like the first time in months. And it literally, like, it was just night and day between, playing with God Key and playing with hybrids. Like, the amount of effort that I had to put into my matches. It just felt so much easier.
Yeah, and what's sad is that you actually have to bring a unit like Clapku who cannot do anything other than, have a second life. And it's kind of like, to be honest, for me, I would bring Super Saiyan Blue Goku if it wasn't the revival stuff like any days, just because I think that the Zenkai 7 one is just so much better. He just doesn't have that second life. And then, this immediately kind of hinders you in one way or the other, because you have to consider, okay, they have 5 lives. Do I bring 3 or at least 4? So you kind of pigeonhole a little bit into maybe even changing your playstyle or the way, the team is built, just because, they have those 5 lives, which are super annoying to deal with.
Yeah, I think what you said about bringing Klapku is a very good point, but I think also the fact that even if you bring Klapku, you need to play extremely careful.
Yeah, you do.
Because once you're in a position where either if the damage dealer on the Gagi team dies, then you're pretty much screwed. Because Vados and Klapku are not gonna have enough damage to do anything. And if Vados dies, you're also screwed, because the team just becomes so much worse when she dies. So you really have to play extremely careful with Gaki to be able to beat these teams in PvP. When they don't have a care in the world, they can just dish anything out they want. They can do whatever they want because they have the units that allow them to do so. And I think the way on how they can fix this is to just, at this point, give every team a revive unit. Like, just give every team someone that can revive, and just give teams that need help the units that they need. LOE, Vegeta Family, fusions. GT is good, but they need some more to like really pick up the pace against these other teams. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just their balancing has been so bad, but it just gets it's now to a point where the 3 teams in the game are just so oppressive against every other team in the game, where it's just not fun anymore when you go up against those specific teams,
Yeah. And
Yeah.
honestly, I hope, because I know Legends, they're not always like this, but sometimes they kind of, focus on one tag, make that, that single tag very, very good, and then they move on to the next tag. So hopefully, obviously Hybrids is the best team. I'm hoping that they're just kind of done buffing Hybrids right now. And then in the next, 6 months to a year, they start focusing on these other teams that actually need it. And then who knows, maybe, a year from now, the meta isn't just, Hybrids is the best. Maybe they've, buffed up some other tags and, helped balance things a little bit. But at the end of the day, you never know what Legends is going to do. I don't know if they really know what balance means.
Yeah, I don't even think, even if they went without buffing Hybrids for the rest of the year, I think they would still be top 5. If not number 1.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hybrids is still
absolutely.
good for like the next 2 years, man.
Yeah, Hybrids usually are set. You guys are set, bro.
I mean, remember Fusion's meta?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember.
Yep.
It started when Kefla came out, and VB didn't exactly help it. And that stayed up for a long... I mean, you had like 3 teams, I guess, because VB was on 3 teams. But still, that one stuck for a good while.
What was everybody's favorite meta? This is kind of maybe a good topic to kind of close this topic on. Like, so everybody in chat, what was your favorite meta? And then I'm going to ask you guys too on the podcast. Like, what was your favorite meta where you actually had a good time like playing?
For me, if we're gonna wait until chat answers, it was right after Super Saiyan Force came out, because then we had like, I don't know, 5 different teams, I think, that were going strong in the meta. We had like GT, we had Super Saiyans, we had Saiyans, we had LOE, and I think we still had Regen as well, because I think Zenkai Kid might have just came out before. So yeah, that's definitely it for me.
Palms, I love your answer so much because it's exactly my answer too. That period when the Super Saiyan 4 dropped up until the 2nd anniversary was literally I think undeniably the best meta. We had, as Palm said, like 5 teams, all great. We had Zenkai 21. We had 21 just came off a region. We had Zenkai Kid Cool for Saiyans. We had LOE with Purple Cooler. Then we had the fusions buff with Gotenks and Kefla, which was, and it was just so, and the Golden Showdown, it was just amazing, man. Dude, just take me back, bro. Just take me back, man.
Yeah.
Like that meta before the 2nd anniversary drop was just phenomenal.
'Cause I think
You guys are talking
it was
about
so
when
good.
Purple Goku and Red Vegeta and Super Baby 2 came out?
Yeah.
Yeah, that,
Yeah, after
dude,
that
that was
period
a great
up to
meta.
where Gotenks and Kefla came out, that whole 6-5 months, great, man. Great. It was, and
Yep.
we also had Piccolo, Bardock come out, all those. It was just so good.
Yeah,
man.
Frieza.
So good. Yeah, dude, it was just amazing, bro.
for me, it was definitely, I got to side with Mist in the chat right there. The Zenkai Kid Kimeta. When that man first came out,
Oh yeah,
he could literally run him with anything. With anyone.
dude,
and
he
be
was.
That's the
successful.
meta we're talking about, Azdeek. That's the
Oh,
meta
is
we're
that?
talking about because
Okay,
he came
my
out.
bad.
Yeah, because he came out after that whole period before the second anniversary. He came out at that time.
Yeah, that was
That's
about
on
the
the
same
Goku
time, I
team.
think.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
when the Goku team surfaced. Yeah, that meta was phenomenal. Like it was just, whew.
Dude,
Oh, take me back, man. Nostalgia.
that youth Goku, man. I don't know if we'll ever see. When he came out, he was like instant Z tier. I don't know if we'll ever see another free to play unit like that. Honestly, I mean, maybe.
Never gonna happen.
Yeah,
Never gonna happen,
I don't know,
bro.
man.
Never.
I had so much fun with that youth Goku. He was super tanky, did good damage. He had endurance. I remember, honestly, that youth Goku was was like the one thing that got me through the Vegito Blue meta. Because I remember when Vegito Blue came out, I could not pull him for like the first like month. So like that entire time I was playing PvP, I was just facing nothing but VB, and I'm pretty sure I was running Sun Family with that yellow youth Goku, and that youth Goku got me through that meta, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was amazing, man.
All right. So, as Swift said, that was a good time to close out this topic. And with this, we're going to take a quick 3-minute break. Get your questions ready, and when we come back, MC Azdeek is going to take them. And as always, donations will take priority, but we love you all nonetheless. And we'll see you back in 3 minutes. All right, and we're back. Time flies, and I'm just going to hand it over to MC Azdeek. Let's go.
Let's go, dude. All right. Drop some questions in the chat right here, boys and girls.
Exactly, because we're inclusive. And we know that there are some girls actually playing Legends.
Yep. All right, Mist with the first question says, do you think the leader update will actually refresh the meta, or will will the little crap revival on every team?
Man, I'm still pretty nervous about this leader thing. Like it could either be a really good thing or a really bad thing. Like I don't think there's going to be any in between. I don't know. Part of me, honestly, and I'm not trying to make this sound bad, but part of me wishes that they just scrap the idea. Like that's just me though. But like I said, there is a chance they drop this and it's actually really good for the game, you know, brings some freshness and people try out some new teams and stuff like that. Like it could be really cool, but I don't know. I'm just nervous of, you know, how it's really going to impact PvP in the meta.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
I
you
feel
have a right
like
to
there
be
will
nervous.
be there will be like two sides. The people that will want to have fun testing out stuff, and there will be the sweaty tryhards doing the most optimal thing and abusing the system.
Yep.
I mean, is
agree.
it really abusing the system if it's in the system? I guess if you double Rising Rush is also abused. Never
Because
mind.
they want you to have fun, right? And
Really?
test out new units on teams and blah.
Really?
That's what I feel when I read this. So that you are engaged to summon on new units even when you don't have their team. Because you can slap them on your team. But then you can abuse it and just use the Z ability of like a broken Z ability and slap it on your team and don't even
Like
need to use the
Red
unit.
Godku.
If they do it like that.
Like
If
Goku
they do
was
it
the
like
ability.
that.
Just like Goku on every team and you just can murder hybrids easily. I definitely think that Goku was gonna be one of the better leaders because he buffs HP and attack, I think, and then he just beats hybrids by himself. So
Yeah.
that'd be crazy.
I agree. I can't wait to see what I want someone to like make like a broken, like a busted team. Like, remember when people were making the Android 18 Topo team with autos? Like, I want someone to make something like even more broken than that with this new update.
What's wrong with you?
Everything.
Yeah, what's wrong with you, man?
Yeah, everything.
What happened to you, man?
Everything, man. I want.
I'm not even laughing. Like I have a straight face right now, but like Azdeek, what is wrong with you,
Dude,
bro?
I want
As
to
be like, I want to see the world burn, okay, man?
To be honest, to be honest, it would be fun to see the community outrage, and it would be fun for me to make multiple rant videos too. So actually, Azdeek, I'm kind of sunny with you right now.
It's
honestly.
content, dude.
The thing is,
it'd be good content.
when they first announced the whole leader slot update, I remember it was like very hotly debated everywhere. And I remember, I think Goresh saying somewhere that, you know, this was literally designed to take like FSK Gohan and Android 18 out at the heels. So I feel like they've at least acknowledged the fact that some of those units or teams are, well, that was before Revive Han, so I don't know. But, you know, back then I thought, okay, at least they acknowledged the fact that some of those teams are grossly overpowered and they need something to figure it out. Because also with Z abilities, I guess they have kind of pigeonholed themselves just a little bit when it comes to team building. So they needed something else.
Yeah.
I don't think that this leader skill is gonna change the meta that crazily. I think the same teams are gonna be insanely powerful, and then you got the fun teams with like, you know, units mission matched together. But I think that this leader skill thing is not gonna take off FSK or any unit in Z tier is not getting taken off just because of this leader skill update. If anything, they're gonna get even better, I think, because hybrids itself doesn't need anything. It doesn't need hybrids itself. Doesn't need the leader skill update or anything. I don't think any new team is gonna out-trump them. You know, so I don't think it's gonna, you know, take off the top Zenkais at all.
I
If I'm
mean, the
being
leader
real.
skill doesn't work on Zenkais, right?
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't need it.
Yeah,
You don't need it
doesn't
anyway.
really help
So it's like
against the FSK and stuff.
exactly. So it's like they can just throw in hybrids. It doesn't matter. They can just run hybrids if they want to, and not to worry at all. Anyway, you know.
Yep. All right. Well, you know, honestly, since we're in the God Key podcast, it's only right that we get a God Key question. So do you think God Key, well, from Pyro, do you think God Key is so common because it's easy to build with replaceable LF units and stuff like that? I definitely would have to say yes. Like, I think God Key is so common because they're just everywhere, right? They're on like almost every banner. Like Clapco has been on banners like what, back to back to back to back. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
They've just been spamming them and stuff like that. You have some really good options on there, especially when it comes to like for free-to-play players. You can immediately just start off with the Super Saiyan Blue, the Zenkai 7 God Key right there. Like that's your starting point. So I think that's why they are so common.
And I know
Yeah,
Vados is
Vados
all
is
over the
everywhere.
place too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
They have like so many units that are still viable, so you can have a way easier time to build the team.
Yep. Exactly.
Only wish that
They have
happened.
like
to every
so many
unit.
options, except for Rat. But yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, no reds. That's their Achilles heel
And
right there, right?
and purple too. Purple's
Purple.
also.
You don't like
yeah.
UI Goku?
UI doesn't count. Anyways, as I was saying, purple. Yeah, there's only purple VB, and that's pretty much it. Unless you spend 3K a month and can 14-star UI, if you can do that, all means. More than that, per VB, that's it. And Rose too, and then UI last. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like with God Key, there's almost like there's like kind of a free to play version of the team, and then there's like a super premium version. Like Azdeek said, you know, if you're a brand new player, you can start grinding the rush. You get the free Zenkai Blue Goku. You know, you maybe snag Vados off a banner or something. Maybe get, you know, a copy or two of Gogeta Blue, and you're basically good to go for a team. And then on the other side, there's a completely premium version where, you know, you got to have a really high star Zamasu, high star Clapku, and now, you know, kind of like Azdeek said, Clapku is more available nowadays, so you could argue that could be on the free-to-play side too. But I do think God Key, you're able to, you know, come in as a fairly new player and kind of build a decent team. So that's probably why there's so many God Keys running around. And like I said, it is kind of the revival meta, and just the fact that Clapku is so much more available nowadays. I feel like people are kind of recognizing his value. So yeah, I don't know. There's definitely a free-to-play version of the team.
Yeah, I agree. And you know, honestly, with the USTR shop just being constantly updated and stuff like that, like I think we just got DKD in
Constantly.
there. We might get Super Saiyan God
Constantly.
Vegeta eventually.
We
Not
probably-
constantly.
I could see
Not
God
constantly,
Vegeta going
but-
in there.
Okay.
I don't know when. I could see him going in there though.
Okay.
Eventually.
There's no constantly, bro.
Yeah, my
Honestly,
bad.
every Zenkai
You're
should
right.
just be in there at this point.
Yeah. I
Every
agree.
Zenkai should just be in there at this point, bro.
And Zenkais are becoming more accessible, right? Like Kaba, I would say Kaba is like the most free to play Zenkai that we've gotten to date.
Dude, you need like
because-
1,100 something chrono crystals or something on top of the 840 from the daily. So you're under 2,000 chronos for his full Zenkai if you can wait. Or
Exactly.
you wait even longer and just do it from only dailies. But you get him to Zenkai 5 at least with the missions, and if you get a little bit lucky on the summons, you even get him to 6, which is his second
Yep.
unique. So that's fantastic.
It is really good for us for just the game overall, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Agreed.
Another question. So we got from Shy. He says, "Who would you say is better, God Topo or Vados?" All right, I'll leave that one up to you guys because I'm not the God Key expert.
All right,
here.
I think me and Swift have the same opinion. I think it's a preference.
Yeah.
To be honest, because I will say that the Vados team is also still pretty good to use in PvP, even though Vados is a liability and I'm kind of losing off Vados. I will say that the team is still pretty viable. And I also say that the blast-based version of the Gaki team with Topo and Super Symbol Evolution of Vegeta, and it's also pretty viable. So at this point, I say it's a preference, but I think Topo really needs that red star, that red 2. And then once I use him, then I'll be able to form like a very good opinion on who I prefer. But both of them are pretty good. You can't go wrong with either. And yeah, that's pretty much how it is.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to preference. I agree. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
The blast-based version is probably more fun, though. I feel like more fun to play.
Yeah, because with the Valve version, you gotta play so careful, so methodical and all that. You just go in and pop damage, boom, let's go.
Take those if you like them both, why not run both?
It's the double green setup is definitely a good setup. Like I actually ran that and I saw Topo's damage with Vados' support. And I mean, it is pretty crazy, but I mean, at the end of the day, when you run double of any color, you're taking a risk. And it really just depends at that point, who you're facing, what team they have. I do have a God Key setup where it's double green with Vados and Topo, and they're both getting Zenkai buffed by Beerus. And it's a really good setup, and it really comes in handy. Like if I'm fighting somebody that doesn't have a purple unit on their team, I'm like, oh, they don't have a purple, so I can just go double green here. You know what I mean? So it really just depends like who you're facing.
I was going to say, you really want to Zenkai buff them with Beerus, and then you have 3 green units on your team.
Which kind of is not the greatest, because then you're taking up spots on the team that could be, a health buffer or, something like that.
Okay, I have something that I have to admit. I have to admit, because earlier I was playing like 2 matches, and then I ran into the German guys who know him, Kurotoki, who's like, is another German streamer.
Yeah.
And
that's my boy.
So we don't rush each other. And he played green, green, yellow. And I was kind of catching on to that. So I brought purple, purple, red. And he played, I still lost. I have to admit, I still lost. He played, I think, Vados, Topo, and Gogeta Blue.
Ooh,
and I still got clapped.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good team, man.
What did you play?
Crazy.
I played movies. I brought Revival Gohan, Broly, Zenkai 7 Broly, and Gogeta Blue. No, wait, not Gogeta Blue, Bojack. And yeah, in the end, it was down to his 2 green units versus my Broly, and the Broly got clapped.
Wow.
I think moving forward, I really think this is just my prediction or my belief right now. I don't know about Swift, but I truly believe that once the inevitable happens and Vados gets taken off Gaki, because it's gonna happen eventually. We saw it with Mai and the future team back in the day. All supports eventually die out, right? So I think once that does happen, I really think that Topo is gonna be like, the main green for Gaki once that does happen. But until then, both of them are viable options. But I do think that Super Symbol Evolution Vegeta and Topo are gonna be moving on to the next version of Gaki, leaving Vados and Gogeta Blue behind. But that's just me, honestly.
I mean, I can see that.
Yeah.
I could see that. I don't know. You can't deny Vados does have top tier support, but her damage and her tankiness are kind of falling off. I mean, she's always been pretty squishy, but especially nowadays with so many strong purple units running around, I mean, her defenses
strong teams.
Yeah, strong
general,
teams especially. I mean, her defenses are kind of falling off, so I could see that.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't got Vados out of these Bardock. Hey, I wish.
So we got another question from Mashaya again. So what are the best fun teams? For me, it has to be movies. Just because Gokua is probably like one of the most fun units I've used in a long time.
Fun teams is kind of weird because the fun team is going to be our main team at the end of the day, right? I'm pretty sure we only use that team because we find the joy in them. So I'd say Gaki for me.
Yeah,
Super Warriors.
Godkey for me as well.
To me, Super Warriors.
Super Warriors? But what Super Warriors setup?
What do you mean what's setup? They only have 3 units. What do you mean what's setup?
What do you mean?
It's not like they have a whole lot of units. Bro, like it's...
They literally have the Zenkai Piccolo, the Legends Road Piccolo.
Really, Billy?
Okay.
They have the Zenkai
That's two.
Krillin.
That's
and
3.
all the EX.
Yeah, and that's it.
That's it.
The EX Unit 2, EX Tien, EX Krillin, EX Yamcha.
Yeah, as a bench, right?
No. I'm using them.
Bro, I love teasing BattleAmore by supporting our team because he seems so invested in the team. When he knows that it's not gonna get any love in the future, it's just so
I
funny.
believe they will get
Okay.
support.
Really fun.
Dude, he was like, "Oops,
Fun
Warrior,
team?
Oops, Warrior, please."
A pool force. Let's go.
Yeah.
Honestly,
see?
no joke.
I love this team. It's so fun.
Bro, I saw Azdeek use that team, and when I saw Azdeek using the team basically goes like this: if you miss your rush, you're screwed. That's how it is. When I saw Azdeek use the team,
I could
'Cause
see
it took
that
Azdeek
because
ages. It took Azdeek ages to finish off any of the top. It took like almost all the matches went up like 50 or 30 timer counts. It was crazy. I was like, I will not find the joy in this, bro. I have to do so much work to get a victory.
And CVG wants to be lazy,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not lazy,
but
but
it is.
there's a difference. Because I already have to do work with God Key. Imagine you have to do more work with a pool force, bro.
yeah, a pool force. It seems like they're just super defensive. They can stop a rush with robbery, but their damage output really isn't there. So they almost kind of rely on like landing that first rush, but they do have like I know Azdeek has all of them 14 stars, and if you're somebody that
Me too.
was able to grind all of them up to 14 stars, I mean, it is a pretty viable team. I'm not gonna lie. Like you can just outlast your opponent. Super defensive. You got the endurance with robbery. Reduce ally sub count with a pool.
So the one thing,
I think even Ramon does decent damage.
yeah, the one thing I have to say though is they do really good damage late game because they stack the crit buffs, but you need to switch them out frequently enough to get the pull buffs. It's kind of like Vados of this team, and then you can actually stack on the damage because crits always kind of trump type disadvantage and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then they also have all those death buffs. If one of them dies, they always buff everybody on the rest of the team. Yeah, and then today, I don't know if you were there already, Swift. I played the Frog Force and I played like the double heal setup with Nabana, the blue guy, and Robbery. And it was a no rush match. Yeah. Just heal twice. It's fine. And they both are team healers, so it's like, okay.
And with how tanky that team is, that's actually really good.
Yeah. And I mean, Robbery tanks
Negative
anything.
damage.
And then people forget that he gets the 10 sub count reduction when they rising rush. Yeah, but he just switched out. Sorry.
Yep.
Hey, but with
I saw Azdeek
Topo,
use
that
that.
wouldn't matter, would it? Because Topo would just
Yes,
inflict
sir.
sub count.
It wouldn't matter. Wait, no, it would. No, it would.
It depends. Like if I just
He would be
switched
locked
out
in.
and I have 10 and Topo gives me 2 more, then yeah, I have 2. But if I just switched out and Topo uses 1 card and I should be down back to 10. And if he rising rushes,
Okay.
then I'll be
Yeah.
back
That
in.
makes sense.
Dude,
Yeah.
Topo's locking is the future, man. I'm telling you, bro. Once I get that red star on him, dude, it is over, bro. It is over.
I mean, but stuff like that is kind of the answer to so many revival and endurance units because you can you gain priority against FSK. You just swap in, lock them in, and rush. It's actually a good way to kind of negate all the endurance and revival.
And that is why Yamcha is good.
All right, so we got time for one more question from Sam. It says, who do you think is going to benefit the most from the leader skill slot?
Hybrids, probably.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I think actually God Key.
Godkey.
No, I think movies. I
Yeah.
think movies are gonna benefit quite a bit.
Because there are so many C abilities that can actually help God Key. Like, we have talked about the shield, right? Where HP and gives health restoration on his C ability.
Yeah, chilled.
Yeah.
Yeah, those kind of condition that helps teams. Like, it doesn't have to be God Key. It can help region too.
Yeah.
And I'm
I
kind
saw
of afraid
Prof.
of those.
I saw Prof make a movie team with future Gohan as a leader, as a yellow. And boy, I can tell you, that team is definitely gonna be probably the best leader skill team. I can guarantee that. That team is future Gohan, LF Brody, Bojack, Revival Gohan, Goku. That team is gonna.
Yeah, I could see that team being really good.
Yeah, that team will be really, really good.
Yep. You don't have to worry about any Zenkais on there holding you back either.
Yeah, because there's no Zenkais on the team.
Yep.
They're just that good.
Oh, true.
Yeah, that team was gonna be disgusting.
That is going to be wild.
No, you.
No, us.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess the units that really, I feel like support units will be really valuable. HP units that have the HP Z ability will be valuable. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm sure, like I said, there's a good chance that this leader skill actually freshens things up a lot, and it could be really good for the game. So we'll just have to wait and see how they do it.
I'm
Yeah,
going to use Super Saiyan God Goku on the Apul Force. Easy.
True. Get all those
Or on
crits.
like regen, where you're getting
Oh my
all that
God.
HP and those extra crit buffs on regen. I don't even want to imagine.
But
that.
I think it would be really fun to see how much the crit buffs affect the Apul Force, just because they have so much, they're so reliant on crits.
Oh yeah.
Because right now I'm
That's true.
using Goldo on them, not even Zenkai Ginyu, which could work too, because he Zenkai buffs Apul and he buffs Strike and Blast attack. But I just want those HP. Those sweet HP.
Yeah, me too.
Hey,
Yeah.
Tensei actually just made a good point. So right now on God Key, Clapku is kind of like the Rising Rush defense, but maybe with this leader skill, you could even throw Blue Topo on God Key, and Blue Topo actually does decent damage, reduces sub count with his main, heals allies, locks
I
in on his
think-
ultimate. Blue Topo would actually probably be pretty crazy
he's-
on God
I
Key.
Yeah.
take Blue Topo.
And he can still catch a
I
rush.
take Blue Topo. Yeah,
And another lock-in
definitely
on the ult.
So
yeah. Ooh, that sounds hella nice.
That
Ooh,
actually does sound really
yeah.
nice.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Tensei. Thank you for the idea. Ooh, that sounds good.
we still have to wait for that slot to be implemented anyways before we can. So don't forget about it. Write it down on a post-it and stick it to your screen. And this is going to be it for the podcast, episode 49, Godly Meta Shift. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you all for the support. And this episode will go live on YouTube in about 24 hours, maybe 24 and a half hours. So if you want to rewatch part of it or you missed something, go over there. Make sure to drop us a subscription on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter for all our updates. Definitely follow our creators. BattleAmore, ZVG, Swift, Noctis are all streaming here on Twitch. I've seen Azdeek once,
Yes, sir.
I heard.
Azdeek, don't say Azdeek. Do not say Azdeek. Azdeek is not a streamer. He's a captain.
Okay, so
Don't say
as
Azdeek.
his streamer name
no.
is Ass Cheeks. And
Yes.
don't forget though that most of us also have YouTube channels. So make sure to check everybody out. And with that said, we're gonna see you in a week for episode 50 of the Dragon Ball Legends podcast. Until then, have a fantastic week. Stay safe, wash your hands, and look left and right before crossing the street. Bye, everybody.
Later.
Later, guys. Gonna miss y'all.
Peace out.